Good evening and welcome to the January 13th meeting of the Livermore City Council. I call the meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Barrientos. Councilmember Dunbar.
Here.
Councilmember Wong. Here. Vice Mayor Branning.
Here.
Mayor Marchand.
Here. If you'll join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance. Thank you. Moving on to, we have no proclamations and presentations. Let's see, first off, do we have any reportable action out of the closed session?
Mr. Mayor, this is your city attorney, Jason Alcala. No, the city council did not take any reportable action in closed session.
Okay,
That concludes my report.
thank you. Okay, now moving on to the open forum. I'll ask the city clerk to explain how people can participate in the open forum.
Thank you, Mayor. The City Council's agenda provides opportunities for the public to participate in the meeting by addressing the City Council in the following ways. For non-agendized items, the public has the opportunity during open forum to address the City Council on any item of interest that is within the City Council's subject matter jurisdiction. For agendized items, the public can address the City Council on each item of business it considers when the mayor opens public comment and should be focused on that particular item. Please note, a speaker is not required to answer any questions from the City Council, and the City Council is not required to answer questions from the public. However, the mayor has the discretion to ask staff to address a speaker's comments when a council member believes it is relevant to a particular business item. When participating in tonight's meeting, one comment may be given per person per item. For consent calendar items, one comment may be given for all items on the consent calendar. If consent calendar items are pulled for the discussion by the City Council, a speaker may be allowed one comment for each item pulled for discussion and a separate comment for the remaining consent calendar. To provide comment, please fill out and turn in a speaker card found at the entrance of the chambers. Speakers will be announced in the order received. Once public comment opens, each participant's name will be announced and their 3 minutes will begin once at the lectern. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, do we have anyone that wishes to speak for the open forum?
Yes, sir, we do. The first speaker is David McWiggin, followed by Susie, followed by Michael Blau.
First, I'd like to thank Mr. Alcala for admitting in open session that you, Johnny, did indeed take specific actions to cover up rape committed by a Livermore police officer. So, Johnny the Rapist Marchand, we'll be coming back to your willful cover-up of rape, but tonight there's something else we need to be addressed. At the November 25th meeting, there was a vote on accepting a report on a housing development. Both Councilwoman Kick and then Councilman, now Vice Mayor Branning, both emphatically stated, "I do not want to vote for this, but I am legally compelled to." Now, anyone who has had a high school civics class knows that we don't live in North Korea. In a democracy, votes can't be compelled. That's what makes it a democracy. And we only need to look to the fact that Ben voted against the project without suffering any consequences. Now, if Mr. Banning at the time actually did believe he was compelled, he's had plenty of time to figure out he was only lied to. So if Mr. Banning wasn't lying, he would know by now and demanded the vote to be rescinded. But his willingness to let that vote stand proves he knew he was deliberately lying. This is clearly a conspiracy because they both use the exact same phrase, legally compelled. But where did it come from? When Ms. Kick started spewing her lie, Johnny the Rapist Marchand got a big smile on his face. Clearly, Johnny was part of the conspiracy, which explains the really stupid legally compelled, because it's a line I can see Johnny the Rapist Marchand saying. Just tell him.
Wait, hold on, wait a minute. Wait. Shut him off. You have been admonished that you will not falsely accuse anyone at this dais, and you are repeating that behavior. So I'm sorry, you are done. Thank you very much. You are done this evening. You are done this evening. No, you are finished. You are done. Thank you very much. You will please sit down. No, you do not. No, you were admonished to not make false accusations of the people at this dais. You have twice made false accusations. You may now sit down. You will. Yes, they are false accusations. You may now sit down. No, that is not what you said. No, you did not. You said Johnny the Rapist Marchand. You said it twice. No, you know, we are taking a recess. We're taking 2 minutes. Thank you. Okay, I'm calling the meeting back to order. And as is the purview of the mayor, I'm going to rearrange the agenda and we're going to get the business of the meeting done first. And I am suspending the open forum until after we conduct the rest of the business of the meeting. Okay, moving on to, oh, I'm sorry. All right, I'm calling the meeting back to order, considering I'm going to rearrange the agenda per the authority of the mayor. We are going to suspend the public comment period and then go directly to the consent calendar. Is there any item that anyone wishes to pull for consent? First off, do we have any public comment?
No comment's been received.
Okay, no public comment. I'm going to close the public comment period on the consent calendar. Does anybody wish to pull any item on consent?
I like pull 1 and 5.1, 5.4.
5 point, okay, 5.1 and 5.4. You just want some comments? Okay. Your comments on 5.1?
Sorry, so,
No, sure.
well, 1 is signing it. Just, can you explain a little more exactly what we're gonna do? This is for removing contaminations. Can you elaborate more on that? What's it gonna entail, the whole lot or?
So this is Paul Spencer, Assistant City Manager. The contamination removal will be both subsurface soils, which are largely associated with the historic use of the property as a rail yard, as well as deeper levels of contamination that are associated with dry cleaning and other businesses that have contaminants that have reached down farther into the soil. So the remediation will involve excavation of dirt and removal to an appropriate landfill, and then some vapor extraction over a period of time as well.
Is anybody gonna help, pay for some of that, or is it all on the city?
Yes, we have a grant we're going to be using that will fund the majority of this project.
Okay. That's it.
Okay, 5.4?
5.4, same thing. Anybody from the arts here? Can you kind of tell us more, explain more about what you've done? Oh,
Oh.
now you got extra time.
Could you just state your name, please?
Yes.
Mhm.
But this works out for me. Good evening, Mayor Marchand and Livermore City Council. I'm the CFO for Livermore Valley Arts, and I'm here on behalf of Chris Carter, who's currently in New York, working on our next season. So he sends his regards to all of you guys. First, we also want to thank you for your incredible support and partnership.
Can you talk to the mic a little closer?
Sorry.
Thank you.
I do want to thank you guys for support over the last year. Livermore's commitment to the arts makes such a difference, and we couldn't do what we do without it. We are pleased to report that the 23-24 fiscal year has been our most productive since opening the Bankhead Theater in 2007. Over 88,000 people joined us through various programs, including our Bankhead Present series, resident company performances, rentals, free community events, art camps, classes, workshops, and then the Uncle Credit Union Art Gallery that's located inside the Bankhead Theater. This is a marked 22% increase from last year and demonstrates how much our community values the arts. One highlight we're especially proud of is hosting the 8 cultural celebrations in partnerships with our local organizations. These free events brought over 16,000 people downtown, creating a real sense of connection and joy. Our annual membership also climbed to over 1,100 households. This is an all-time high, and our earned revenue was $2.2 million, which was also a record for us. and that comprised 60% of our total revenue. These achievements reflect the trust and enthusiasm our community has in the work that we do. Last year, we updated our mission statement to include the words enrich and inspire, as well as engage our community with the arts. We also rewrote our vision to state that we aspire to be a catalyst for a dynamic and vibrant arts region. We see ourselves as more than a venue. We want to be a resource and a partner that helps the arts thrive throughout Livermore and beyond. These updates align with our core values of creativity, inclusivity, integrity, and collaboration. These values guide every decision we make and help us ensure that the arts remain accessible and impactful for everyone in our community. Of course, like any organization, we face some challenges. While our earned revenue was a record, we didn't quite meet our goals for our contributed revenue. But that said, our overall financial position is very strong, thanks to an operating reserve of 1.2 million and consistent ticket sales on top of that. In an environment where many arts organizations are still struggling post-pandemic, this resilience is something we are very grateful for. Finally, we want to underscore why the arts matter. Research shows that engaging in the arts supports mental health, fosters kindness, and strengthens community bonds. It's not just about the people in the seats. The arts create a ripple effect that touches everyone in our city. So as we move through the next year, we're excited to keep building on this momentum. We encourage all of you to continue championing the arts. They truly make Livermore a better place to live, work, and thrive. Thank you for all that you do in your time. If you have any questions, I'm here to answer to the best of my ability.
Any questions? Yeah. Vice Mayor.
No questions. I just wanted to thank you for all the work you do. And since Mr. Brinke is here also to just really highlight and appreciate the work you've done over the past several years to bring the arts to people, it's not just the Bankhead Theater anymore. It is really, you've proven the ability and the skill and the will to become an arts organization for the entire city. And I'm looking forward to, in the coming years, I've heard some spoilers from Mr. Brinke that we're looking to expand that even further and reach even more parts of the city where possible, assuming we can find the funding, of course, but.
It's always the issue, right?
Always. But I just really wanted to express my appreciation for everything that you've done for our community. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much.
And again, I appreciate the impact that the Livermore Valley Arts has had on our community. And in fact, your cultural events, and I've seen Arthur at just about every one of those cultural events, over 16,000 people in the in the downtown. And
Just for those 8 events last year.
Yeah.
It's pretty
and over 20 years of art walk. And I was there for the first art walk with Linda Ryan when we set that up, the first one, and Arthur was there as well. And so certainly appreciate the tremendous work. And I'm very proud to see that it's still a tremendous success. And it's just gotten bigger every year. And I certainly appreciate the work that you continue to do to enrich the community. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Mayor. We really appreciate all your support.
Absolutely. Keep up the great work.
Anything else?
Since we got you more time out. Well, I appreciate you, the work you all do out there. And I work with Andrew and Cole a lot and help her out as much as I can. And just, I taught in elementary, and when we had our art practice, I just let the kids have free reign and they really enjoyed it. I think for anybody who's a human, you should have some kind of art, whether it's music, drawing, coloring, painting. It's a release and it's good for you. Makes you whole.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much, you guys.
Councilmember no, Dunbar, yes. For so many years. Okay, Councilmember Dunbar.
Thank you. I had the pleasure of meeting with Mr. Carter last week, so it's good to see you here tonight. And I just wanted to highlight and echo what everyone else voted, but the curation of the Vineyard Resource Center art was provided by LVA as well, and I wanted to highlight that for the community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry, I was trying not to I'm not going to echo things, but even though I would say ditto, but I just really want to acknowledge Arthur Brinke and everything he's done to bring the cultural arts to the city through the Bankhead. And he wasn't just at all those celebrations, he ran them and I think largely started all of them. So he has a big hand in this. I really appreciate him.
Absolutely. He's Jim to us. And we won't let him go. He tries sometimes. All right. Well, thank you very much to council and good evening.
Thank you. Okay, I've got a couple of comments on several of the items on the consent calendar. Item 5.1, yeah, there was a great deal of misinformation, actually disinformation, that was published in the Independent regarding that whole Livermore Village site. Is this the same area where it was published that the Regional Water Quality Control Board did not approve the city cleanup plans?
Mr. Mayor, this Regional Water Quality Control Board has approved. the cleanup
Right, but I
plans,
believe
correct?
it was published in the Independent that it did not.
I believe you're correct.
Right, thank you. Because I was going to say on page 9 of the staff report, it clearly says that the Regional Water Quality Control Board did, in fact, approve the plan. And what the plan was, again, on page 9, it says the staff report states that, quotes, "The heavy metal and hydrocarbon contamination will be removed." And it also talks about the soil vapor extraction to meet the new Bay Area Air Quality Management District guidelines. I remember seeing full-page ads in the Independent and hearing at the dais from one of our, actually from several of our representatives from the local Sierra Club, that the city should leave the contamination behind. That's what the ads said, the letters to the editor, and the comments at the podium were to leave the contamination behind. And that's not what responsible governments do. We clean up because we don't want children playing on a contaminated site. That was why we removed 2,000 cubic yards of contaminated soil at Livermore Plaza. That's why we cleaned up Stockman's Park, because that's what responsible governments do. We don't leave the contamination behind. And again, again, in the staff report, it says, cleaning up the site will reduce contaminants below the levels of concern for future planned uses. And those planned uses included the park, Eden Housing, and the parking structure. And to Councilmember Barrientos's point, it also includes the analysis of the area in the Springtown open space. So we're going to ensure that the Springtown open space is also fully mitigated for any potential contamination there. So I wholeheartedly support the resolutions in 5.1. Also with 5.4, we already talked about 5.5. I just wanted to highlight this. That's the Holmes fence replacement. We've gotten a lot of comments over the years about how ratty the fence is, and that's because there's never been it's never been included in the capital improvement program. And we've finally, after all these years, we've finally gotten a funding stream for that. And we finally dedicated the time and resources. Now, it's taken time to do that. If I remember the Holmes wall, it took us 8 years to do that because there were people that didn't want us to do that project. They didn't want us to replace the wall. And now you go down there and that's an entryway to the community. It's an entryway to our city. And I want it to look good. So now we're going to start incrementally replacing that fence, which is then going to improve what that entryway to our community looks like. So very excited about this project. And I heard today that there's a lot of community support behind it. The residents are all about it. So I look forward to that moving ahead. So I think that's terrific. So with that, I'm done with my comments. Anybody else have comments? Okay, with that, I'd be willing to entertain a motion for the consent calendar.
I'll move approval of
Okay.
the consent calendar, all items.
Okay. Would,
will second.
Councilmember Wong care to second?
Yes, I was second.
Okay, okay, there's been moved by Councilmember Dunbar, seconded by Councilmember Wong. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That passed unanimously. Moving on to our first public hearing, 6.1. This is a hearing to consider a request to change the street name on a portion of East Valicitos Road. Thank you for the staff report. I never knew about the naming conventions, that if it's northwest, it's or north-south, it's one thing, it's east-west, it's another. That was very cool. So thank you very much for that. So with that, moving on to the item 6.1.
Honorable Mayor Marshall and members of the City Council, this is your City Manager, Mariana Montershiba. Item 6.1 is going to be presented by Jennifer Ackerman, Associate Planner in the Community Development Department. Thank you.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and members of the City Council. I'm Jennifer Ackerman, Associate Planner, and I'm presenting a project for a street name change on a portion of East Valicitos Road. For street name changes, the City Council may approve a change, and the approval is based on recommendation of staff and the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission heard this item on November 19th and recommends approval.
Oh, that's the only slide.
And if I can get the slide to go. There we go.
Okay, there we go. I thought there was more to the program.
There certainly is. Okay, so this area is about a half a mile northeast of where Isabel Avenue and Valicitos Road meets, down here in this corner where my cursor is. The approximately 1 mile portion of private road shown in blue, which is this area here, is proposed to be formally renamed from East Valicitos Road to East Vineyard Avenue. The 4 properties that will experience an address change are indicated on the map, and that would be 1, 2, 3, and 4. The new street name change was chosen as a logical continuation from East Vineyard Avenue to the portion of the street in question. Residents have noted that emergency and routine delivery services have difficulty finding these homes along this road. The proposed change will help improve this situation. There are already 2 properties along this road that have East Vineyard addresses. Those properties are in the county's jurisdiction. This road will remain as a privately maintained road even after the name changes. The change is supported by residents and the Livermore Pleasanton Fire Department, and the city has not received any letters of opposition. Staff and the Planning Commission recommend the City Council adopt a resolution approving or finding that this project is exempt under CEQA guidelines, adopt a resolution approving the project, and instruct the planning manager to file a notice of exemption with the county. Thank you for your time, and staff is available for questions.
Okay, and because it's easterly and westerly, it goes by avenue.
Yes.
Okay. Any questions for the staff at this point? Do we have any public comment?
No public comments been received.
Okay, and the letters that I saw were all in favor of this, so that's terrific. Okay, is there any, no, there's no public comment. I'll close the public hearing, bring it back to the council. Councilmember Dunbar.
This one's fun for me because I saw this on the Planning Commission. You find my name on the resolution in the Planning Commission because of the support from the community as well as the well-done staff report. My opinion of that has not changed, though my role has. As has been said before, the Planning Commission decides whether something can be done, and the council often decides what should be done, and I can find that we both can and should.
Oh, very good. It's funny, the first time I remember I voted on something on the planning on the art commission, and I eventually ended up voting on it again on the city council, so it came back. So again, my vote didn't change either. Okay, so you're making the motion?
Indeed, I will move approval of the staff recommendation.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I will second.
Okay, motion made by Councilmember Dunbar, seconded by Vice Mayor Branning. Any discussion on the motion?
So is this our opportunity to name it whatever we want? Could we have a John Marchand Avenue?
No.
With no further discussion.
I think that's already been named. So to East Vineyard Avenue. So, very good. But thank you for the kind thought. Appreciate that. Okay, no further discussion on the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passed unanimously. Thank you very much. Okay. I'm going to go back to open forum. Now, Mr. McGuigan, you have been admonished and warned on several occasions to resist disrupting the meeting. And so we will restart your time at a minute and a half. You can continue to address the city council. However, your mic will be off. So you can still speak to the council, but your mic will be off. You will refrain from disrupting the meeting. And if you continue to disrupt the meeting, you'll be asked to leave. And your time will start at a minute and a half again. But you can continue to address the council. Do not try to disrupt it. Please speak respectfully, and you can start back in at a minute and a half.
The next speaker is Susie, followed by Michael Blau, followed by Arthur Brunke.
Listen to him. He's crazy. He comes 90 miles to come here and harass you every week. When does the Fourth Amendment or the freedom of speech override harassment? You're kind. You've been kind to my family. You've been kind to my friends. It all boils down to he's a drunk driver. He hit one of our citizens and he had a opiate in your pocket and he's pissed. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
The next speaker is Michael Blau, followed by Arthur Brunke.
And before I get started, I just want to say that I'm a property owner and have part owner in the shopping center called Vasco Plaza out on Vasco Road.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Would you mind speaking just lean up a little bit? Thank
Okay.
you.
I'm a property owner and own part of the shopping center called Vasco Plaza out on Vasco Road. And I'm here actually to complain about something, but before I do, I'd like to make sure that you understand that I truly love the city of Livermore. And I've been a builder here in this town for over 40 years and a property owner at the shopping center for over 25 years. What I have to complain about is that that there's a company that does our garbage for the whole city, that's Livermore Sanitation. And I feel that they are for the lack of a better word, gouging the residents and the business owners in the city. And to give you, my reasoning for that is that over the last 10 years, 10 years ago, my shopping center was paying $60,000 a year for garbage removal. And today it's $120,000 a year. And while over the same period of time, the CPI index or the inflation rate has been 32%. And our rates have gone up over 3 times that in that same period to increase 100%. And now on top of that, they've just come up with this water line concept where they're going to charge us a fine if our containers go over the water line, the trash goes over the water line. And so I called him and asked him, and I said, so if I've got 20 containers and 17 of them are half full or 3/4 full, and 3 of them are over the water line, do I get any credit for the 17 that are under? And they just almost laughed at me and said, no, but we'll charge you for the other 3. And so I just think that it's unfair and they're hurting us because of the excess cost. And I'd like to ask the city to sit down and ask them to cancel the water line project.
Okay, thank you for bringing that to our attention. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just wanted to acknowledge that Rihanna Bradford spoke under 5.4. So we'll go through Arthur Brinke.
Hello. My name is Arthur Brinke, cultural events expert and community leader. Happy New Year, new council. I want to express my deepest gratitude for the support that this council and its members have shown with time, energy, and attention to community building. It's a very exciting and hopeful time for Livermore and the Tri-Valley. Earlier today, I met with a community leader who mentioned their reasons for recently moving to Livermore in comparison to other cities in the Tri-Valley. Of all the cities, Livermore had all the cultural signals and identifiers that made this family feel they would be included, welcomed, and be able to prosper and grow here. That's awesome. I'm just gonna take that in for 1 second. It's an honor to know that what we do is something people looking for a home, a place, take into deep and real consideration. Livermore Valley Arts Cultural Celebration Series makes us unique and sets us apart, not just from our neighboring cities, but from other places across the state, and I'm very proud. With that said, here's a list of upcoming celebrations at the Bankhead Plaza. On February 2nd, we have Lunar New Year. Fun fact is we've been celebrating that since 2017. On May 2nd is Asian American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander celebration. It's a night market style event. And on June 21st is Juneteenth. Recently a holiday for sure, but more importantly, a celebration honoring our Black brothers and sisters. We've been doing that. And so I just want to say thank you again for being a city council that supports the individuals and organizations in the cultural arts here in town. Thank you.
And since you have a few minutes left or a minute left, can you repeat the dates for the events?
Thank you for asking. Lunar New Year is February 2nd. AANHPI, which is Asian American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander celebration, is May 2nd. And Juneteenth is June 21st.
Thank you.
Great.
And that concludes open forum.
Okay. With that, we're going to go to report out and matters initiated. I'll start on your end. And you know what, for report out, We were going to have you guys speak at the Citizens Forum or the Open Forum, but you didn't have an opportunity to speak at the last meeting, so you're on.
All right, I will start in reverse, or I will start in, my report out is pretty simple. I didn't have any subcommittees yet. However, I did attend with Councilmember Barrientos and Wong, the festival at Altamont Creek this weekend of children showing their business endeavors, which was quite charming. I had a really nice time. That was put on by Serving Hands with a Z. That was the organization that put it on, so it was great. As to the other port, so those of you who are here in the audience and those of you who might watch this on YouTube later, it's an honor and privilege to be up here representing this community. It is a wonderful community, and I'm working every day to make sure that it continues to be thriving. Whether you supported me or not, whether you live in District 3 or not, I'm looking forward to working together for this community that we all love very much. Thank you.
Councilmember Wong.
I wanted to start by thanking staff, starting with our city manager, Mariana Marshava, and all the staff who spent so much time putting together onboarding information for the two of us and all their time in meeting with us, and especially Marianne Lobo for all the scheduling. Scheduling all those people isn't easy, and I really appreciated all the time people have spent. I learned so much in the last few weeks and will continue to. In terms of my report out, I just want to highlight a couple of things. I got an opportunity to tour Daybreak Labs with Dr. Sunchenko, and it was really cool to hear about all the things going on there. I attended the Chamber of Commerce Mixer, which I did every month on the school as the school board representative, and I'm continuing to do that. And I also had an orientation with LAFTA, which I'm on the board of, and they're really big, exciting plans this year. This is going to be a big year for LAFTA. And also attended my first LAFTA board meeting and got a preview of the 2025 marketing plan. And then just the Children's Business Fair was so great. I just think 7-year-olds presenting on Shark Tank, they were so impressive. I was blown away. They were both at how young they were, but also their excitement and their confidence was very inspiring.
Yeah, okay, very good. Well, thank you so much, and welcome aboard. It's great to have you both here. Okay, Councilmember Barrientos.
You can read my report out, but I got two things I'm wondering about. I left a message for Mariana. Is there somewhere that we or somehow that the city of Livermore can adopt a city down in Southern California and find a way to help them out? You know, there's 24 dead so far and 12,000 structures. And I was thinking, maybe, what if we were in that situation where your whole darn city got wiped out? Your our building be gone too. And I was trying to figure out, can we find a way? I know we sent 2 fire trucks out there and 11 personnel, I believe. So we're doing that, but maybe other cities will follow our lead and help us out and help them. With the Lions Club, we're doing a big fundraiser right now in a couple of days. Not just my club, but the international to help LA too. And the other thing is the next door. I happened to look at it, and they were going crazy about the parking of that temple, the Shiva temple down there. They were online about parking down the street, and their parking lot was full, and people weren't even watching or taking directions for the person that was trying to direct the traffic. So I was wondering if we can find a way to kind of help out next year, make sure. Yeah. Apparently it's a big, I don't know how many people show up, and I drove by and it's a big parking lot, and I'm going to be invited to go down and tour it out, get a tour from them in a couple of weeks. So,
They've had, so this has been an ongoing concern,
Yeah.
and for the last few years, it's worked very well.
mhm.
And staff is aware of this, and staff is is looking into that now to see how they can improve from previous years. So they can get up to 18 to 20,000 devotees that'll show up over like the course of a weekend. But staff is looking into that. They've been apprised of that, and they're in touch with the government liaison of the temple.
Okay.
Vice Mayor.
Thank you. The button on my mic doesn't work as well as my last. It's a little bit harder to press. So as far as my report out goes, I just want to wish everyone a happy new year. I hope everyone had a relaxing holiday season, and had a chance to spend it with their families, or friends or their chosen families. Thankfully, it wasn't the most busy, break for me either. I had a little bit of time off of work and not a ton of activities for the amount of time we've been away. Most of them, also lab to LDI, Chamber of Commerce. I do want to just ask staff about two things. So first is I appreciate Councilmember Barrientos's comments. I'm from Los Angeles, and I have a lot of family down there still. Most of them are very safe, very far away from the fire, but I actually have some family members who, mostly for smoke reasons, have evacuated. And I know lots of people who have been displaced. There are nonprofits, and it's a loose coalition right now, really working throughout Alameda and the Bay Area, kind of trying to fit together resources. Are there, places where people can stay? I've heard that several of the temples have opened up their doors. Really, like some of the local motels and hotels have, and kind of echo what Councilmember Barrientos is saying. If we can look into how we can just help facilitate. I know we don't have a lot of financial resources to provide, but we already have LPFD down there risking their lives in what's been a on unbelievably devastating fire. But as a city, we do have the ability to connect people, the ability to connect services, and there are people who are fleeing to our area, who just whether it's because they lost their home or just because the air is unbreathable. So anything we can do there, I would echo. I would appreciate it. With that, I also just wanted to address Mr. Blau's comments. I don't know the full story, so I'm not gonna make assumptions, but if staff could update us about what is happening, and if also potentially if you could reach out to Mr. Blau to just get more details on what is going on in his case. Perhaps there's something, a miscommunication is all it is, or perhaps it is something bigger, but I'd like to know more about that. And I think that's really all I have. So yeah, thank you.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much. And it was a busy holiday season. Again, Happy New Year, everybody. Just two notable things. We had the downtown menorah lighting, which was remarkable. We had the largest crowd ever on Saturday, December 28th, and the fire department showered Hanukkah gelt on the crowd. And on January 9th, I had the incredible privilege and honor of speaking at the dedication of the world's fastest exascale supercomputer, which is now in Livermore. Yes, for years we've had the world's fastest rodeo. We now have the world's fastest supercomputer. It can calculate 5 quintillion floating operations per second. Give you a vague idea of that. That's the processing power of 1 million iPhones a second. And if stacked together, that would be a tower 5 miles high, 5 miles high for the iPhones. The chips, now with Sierra, the chips each contained 8 billion transistors. It was a chip about yay big, contained 8 billion transistors. The current chips in El Capitan, which is the name of the supercomputer, They contain 148 billion transistors. It is absolutely remarkable. It is a water-powered computer. Think about that for a minute, how many ways a water filled computer could go bad on you. But it is an amazing machine. Again, it is the fastest computer in the world, and it's right here in Livermore. So once again, Livermore is leading the way, and I'm very, very proud to represent this community. So with that, there being no further business coming before the city, I would like to adjourn the meeting. Thank you very much.